How's it going? My name is Owen Day, and this is how to adjust the headset on a bicycle. Alright, so before we get started, I just want to go into some details as to what kind of componentry that we're going to be working with. So if you look over here, this part on the frame is called the head tube. This is the crown on your fork, and inside the head tube there's the steerer tube, which is attached to the fork. This part right here, which holds the handlebars on, is called the stem. And on the stem we have the two stem pinch bolts, and then on top here we have the headset compression adjustment bolt, as well as the top cap. Alright, so now that we know the componentry that we're going to be dealing with, let's talk about some symptoms of a loose headset. So the number one symptom that you can test for is if you hold the front brake of your bicycle and then gently rock the bike back and forth. If you see play here where the headset spacers are engage with the frame, if you see any play there, or if you grab right here and feel any play, then your headset is definitely loose. Another symptom is if you can't quite see any movement or feel any movement there, if the headset is creaking, that can also be another indication that you need to adjust your headset. So next I'm going to tell you the kind of tools that you need to perform a headset adjustment. So this one's pretty simple. All you're going to need is the appropriate size Allen key for the stem pinch bolts and the compression adjustment bolt. But now we're going to begin the process of performing a headset adjustment. So all the hardware that I have on this bicycle is a 4mm, so I'm just going to need the 4mm Allen key. And so the first step is going to be loosening up the stem pinch bolts here, so I'll do that right now. And you don't need to undo these all the way so that they come out, you just need to do them so that you can move the stem on the steer tube. So you can see here the bars move independently of the wheel, so that's loose enough. The next step that you want to do is take this headset compression bolt and tighten that so that you can feel some resistance, and this part may take some trial and error, so we're just going to get it to like that tight. And then what we can do is grab the front brake and rock the bike back and forth and see if we have any of that play there. That's a pretty good indicator that it is tight enough. One thing that you don't want to do is over tighten this, because there's two ball bearings in here, and if you over tighten that and ride the bicycle, it could damage those bearings over time. So we're just going to go with that tightness right now and see if that's going to work for us. So we're just going to tighten that up and then do these up a little bit so that the bars don't move, and then we're going to play around with this and see if we can feel anything loose at all. Maybe compress the fork a little bit just to get things moving around, and that feels like there's still a little bit of play. So same thing again, just undo your pinch bolts here, just like this, so that they're loose enough, and then do this up just a little bit more. And you want this to be as loose as possible with no play in the headset, so that you have good compression on those bearings, but you don't want to be binding them up at all. So once again, we're just going to see if we can feel any play, and I don't at the moment. So let's just get the bars straight, and you can do this by kind of just looking down past the handlebars and match it up with the crown on the fork, and then we can go ahead and tighten these up. And these, you don't want to kill them, but you want them to be pretty tight, just because that's what's keeping your bars straight when you're riding the bike. So we're just gonna one more time check if there's any play, which I can't see or feel. And you also, when you're doing this, you want to pick the bike up and twist the bars back and forth just to see if it feels smooth. If you can feel any notching or anything like that in the bars, then one, it's either too tight, or two, you have damaged headset bearings, which you would definitely want to go ahead and replace. But it feels good to me, everything's tight. So that is a successful headset adjustment on a bicycle.